So, hi everyone, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I'm Jess, Director of Babyzone Hubs. I'm also a qualified infant massage instructor and international trainer. Perhaps most importantly for today, I'm also a mum of two. I'm joined today by my brilliant colleagues, Sarah and Claire, who are working away in the background. They're part of the Babyzone team. They'll be looking after the chat section and gathering all your questions for our live Q&A at the end of today's session. So for those of you who are joining us for the first time, welcome. And for our regulars, it's lovely to see you again. I will tell you a little bit more about baby massage or infant massage and what it is. So baby massage isn't a new idea. It's a very ancient one. In India, it has been passed from grandmother to daughter to mother to daughter as part of daily baby care for thousands of years. It's woven into daily life across parts of Africa, South Asia and beyond, and cultures that understood long before Western science caught up that touch is one of the most powerful things that a caregiver can offer a baby. So a very important thing to note, especially before we start our guided session today, is that baby massage is something we do with our babies, alongside our babies, and not to them. So this is a completely baby-led session. We're going to ask permission from your babies, and if your baby isn't happy at any point, that's obviously absolutely completely fine, and you just do what you need to do to soothe them. So maybe they need a feed, a cuddle, a little walk around the room, a little sing song, and then you can join back in when baby's ready, if baby's happy to. If they fall asleep, leave them to sleep. That's absolutely fine. You can obviously carry on watching or come back to this webinar later when baby is alert and ready for their massage. So it's, as I said, completely baby-led. I'll be encouraging you to check in with baby all the time as we do our massage. So just make sure that they are happy and content as you go along. So again, just before we make a start, I'm going to share some of the research and the evidence behind the impact of baby massage and the positive benefits that are associated with infant massage. So there is a growing body of research on infant massage, and it's genuinely very encouraging. For your baby, it reduces cortisol, which is the stress hormone. It supports better sleep patterns. So especially if you're able to build a little bit of massage into your daily routines, then it can encourage longer, deeper sleeps and get them into a regular pattern of sleep. It may ease some common baby ailments such as colic, trapped wind, constipation, teething pains, reflux, all of those wonderful baby things that are probably keeping you up at night and keeping you busy through the day. We are helping baby holistically with all of their systems, so their nervous system, their digestive system, their circulatory system, and a little bit of regular massage every day, a couple of times a day, very regularly, will help to bring the natural development of those systems along and help them to meet their milestones. It's well evident that weight gain is a product of regular massage, and this is particularly beneficial if you have a premature born baby. And then there are also lots of benefits for you as the parent or the carer who is massaging and connecting with your child. It releases oxytocin. That's in both you and baby, and it's one of those happy hormones. It's particularly stimulated by skin-to-skin connection and touch. It helps to build secure attachment and bonding with your baby. It helps you to tune in to the cues of your baby and help you better understand their needs. There has been evidence to show that regular infant massage reduces postnatal depression and the symptoms associated with that. It helps to build confidence in reading your baby's cues and understanding what your baby is asking for. And it benefits all caregivers. So anyone who wants to join in with massage, it could be a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, an older sibling. It's something that everybody can do and everyone can enjoy and spend that time bonding with that child. So for example, on bonding and attachment, when we massage our babies, both of you release oxytocin. This is a bonding hormone. There was a particular study that was not just about warm language, it was measurable in saliva samples. And a randomized control trial published in 2024 found that babies whose mothers massaged them more than once a week had significantly higher attachment security scores when their baby turned 12 months old. There are multiple studies around sleep and babies, which showed that massage helped babies fall asleep much faster, wake less over the night, and sleep for longer stretches. The mechanism seems to be melatonin in these studies, and touch appears to stimulate its release, helping to regulate the body clock. In terms of postnatal depression, a 2023 systematic review from the University of Limerick, covering 8 studies and over 500 mothers, found that every single study showed a reduction in postnatal depression symptoms in mothers who massaged their babies compared to those receiving routine postnatal care, which was a significant find of that study. And then in terms of colic, the evidence on colic is very promising. Several trials show meaningful reductions in crying time and improved sleep. Those study designs vary and researchers call for more work. But what we do know is that the specific tummy strokes we practice today are widely used and well tolerated. Okay, so we're going to put all of this into practice. We're going to go through a guided massage session. Just before we begin, you'll need to find a warm, comfortable space and something soft to lay your baby on where you'll both be comfortable. If you find it difficult to sit on the floor or you have any lower back problems, you might want a household cushion to prop up your back, or if you can prop yourself up against a wall. And make sure you're both comfortable. So I'll give you a couple of moments to get ready and I'll get myself into my position with my massage doll and then we'll make a start. So make sure you're sitting in a comfortable position. You might be cross-legged. You might want to have your legs out to the side. Again, like I said, if you want a household cushion, I've got one here. Prop yourself up against a wall or the sofa, wherever you'll feel comfortable, and just protect your posture as well. Make sure your shoulders are back and you're looking after your spine. We know what it's like. You're constantly picking up those babies out of cots and car seats and buggies and all sorts, and often parents aren't looking after their own posture. So just be mindful of that and look after yourself as well. So I'm going to sit in a cross-legged position with my baby in front of me. And as I said before, this is a completely baby-led session, and you just check in with your baby all the time and make sure they're happy. Like I said, if they fall asleep, let them sleep. Pick them up, give them a cuddle if they get a bit fractious or a bit distressed. They may need a feed, they may need changing. You do whatever you need to do to make sure that your baby is happy and that you're both content and enjoying the experience. So in some massage classes, if you've been before, you may have used an oil. We're not going to use that today. Obviously, this is an oilless massage, an over-closed massage, and perhaps oil is something that you want to ask me about in the live Q&A session at the end, and I'm happy to give you some advice and guidance around the oils that can be used. But today we're just using our hands. You can strip baby down, so it's skin-on-skin contact, but we're not using an oil. I'm going to remove my rings or any jewellery that might catch on baby's skin. So just make sure there's nothing there that won't tag and scratch at baby, so that everyone's feeling comfortable. And then we're going to ask permission from our baby. So we're going to rest our hands on baby's chest to get started. We're going to try and make eye contact if we can. And say, hello, are you ready for your massage today? Are you ready for your massage? And obviously if baby is not crying, if they're making eye contact with you, if they seem content, then that's them giving you consent to carry on. If they're crying, if they're pushing your hands away, if they're trying to turn, if they seem distressed, then those are all indications that now's not the time, I'm not in the mood, and we'll come back to it later. But if your baby is content, we're just going to take a moment, again, be mindful of your own posture, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And just make sure that you're ready to enjoy this moment together. Forget about everything else that's going on in your busy lives, and this time is just for you. So we're going to start with resting hands on the chest, and then we're going to do a full frontal stretch. So we're going to bring both hands all the way down the body, all the way down to the toes, one hand back to the top, then the other, and complete that again. So we're just getting baby used to the feeling of our hands on their body. We're giving them indications that we're starting massage. And the reason that we put one hand up and then the other is so that we don't lose that physical connection with baby. In baby reflexology, this is also called activating the zones. So we're just getting the body ready for massage. And we're not going to do a full body massage today because that takes probably around 45 to 50 minutes. We're going to do the chest, the tummy, the legs, the feet, and the arms and the hands if we get time for all of that. And we can always do a part 2 baby massage webinar where I go over the back and the head and the face and any bits that we've missed. But we're just going to do the chest to start with. So again, resting your hands on baby's chest, checking in with them again, talking to them as much as you like, making lots of facial expressions. We're going to do a stroke we call sunglasses. So we're going to take 2 or 3 fingertips and we're just going to go round and round the chest in a circular motion, creating sort of sunglasses on the chest. And what we're doing here is we're opening up the chest. This is particularly good if baby has any mucus sat on the chest. We're going to help to dislodge that. We're going to open up their airways. And if you can get your fingertips to glide just under near the armpits, that helps to massage around the lymphatic system, which is great for boosting their immunity. And then we're going to do a stroke called kisses. So we're going to move our hands slightly lower down than when we were resting our hands, just slightly. We're going to take one hand over to the opposite shoulder. We're going to gently warm that shoulder in our hand and then bring it back. And then we're going to repeat with the other hands, going across to the opposite shoulder, give that little shoulder a warm and bringing it back. And we're going to repeat that. So we're sort of making a crisscross shape on the chest. Again, we're opening up the airways. We're also crossing the midline of the body. So we're engaging both the left and the right side of the brain, which is absolutely essential in early brain development. This is such a key time in your child's brain development where they're making billions of connections every second. And when you're crossing the midline of the body, we're engaging both sides of the brain. So it really helps with that brain organisation from the earliest moments. If you want to, you can blow your little baby a kiss as you come down, making plenty of eye contact. And then the last chest stroke that we're going to do is called pitter-patter raindrops. And this is where you're just going to tip-tap your fingers on their chest, up and down their chest. You're obviously not causing any harm. It's not hard, it's not too firm. But it's firm enough that maybe if they have got mucus on their chest when they're a little bit snotty, then this will help to dislodge that mucus and clear their airways as well. So up and down on the chest. And I love to incorporate songs and rhymes into my massage. So I'm going to sing Infancy Spider. I apologise now for my singing, but at the end of the day, your baby doesn't care what your voice sounds like. They just love to hear it. So please sing along at home if you want to join in. Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sunshine and dried up all the rain. So Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again. Yeah, well done. That was your chest massage. And we're going to move down onto the tummy now. So I'm just going to sit my baby up very quickly to say that we've got, if you imagine that your baby's belly button is the middle of a clock, and then you have 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock. On the tummy strokes, we're always going to be working in a clockwise direction because that's the natural flow and direction of your baby's digestive system. So all of these tummy strokes that I'm going to show you are perfect for easing colic symptoms, constipation, trapped wind, anything in that digestive system. We're going to get it moving along naturally. We're going to work with the flow of the digestive system. And I'll warn you now, this is maybe where you hear some little pops from baby. You may get a lovely surprise in the nappy, and obviously that's perfectly normal given that we are stimulating the digestive system. Okay, so just with 2 or 3 fingers, imagining that baby's belly button is the middle of the clock. If you could just go round that clock in a clockwise direction. So just round and round in a clockwise direction, around the belly button. Checking in with baby all the time. Now, if they've just been fed, you may want to avoid tummy massage altogether because especially if your baby suffers with reflux, you won't want to see that feed again, so maybe you can come back to this at another time. If it's been more than 30 to 40 minutes since their last feed, you can be a little bit firmer because you're massaging that digestive system, helping everything work its way around. But just check in with baby constantly and just make sure that they're happy with what you're doing. The next one that we're going to do almost like a rainbow from 9 o'clock over the top of the belly button to 3 o'clock. So a rainbow over the top of the belly button. And then we're going to do 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So still in that clockwise direction, 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then when you feel confident with both of those, you can combine them. You can use 2 hands or you can use one, whatever is most comfortable for you. So we're going to do that rainbow first, so 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, and then the 12 to 6. 9 to 3, 12 to 6. Nine to 3, 12 to 6. 9 to 3, 12 to 6. Lovely. And then the next stroke that we're going to do, we're going to use the palm of your left hand on baby's 9 o'clock side of their clock. And we're going to just gently go across the tummy and pull back with the fingers. So we're not pushing down or applying any harmful pressure at all. We're just gently gliding our palm across and pulling back with our fingertips. So when we were going around the belly button in our previous 2 strokes, we're warming the tummy tissues, we're stimulating the digestive system, we're getting everything flowing in that clockwise direction, working with the natural flow of baby's digestive system. Now we're compressing that digestive system slightly, so just squeezing everything around and helping to compress that digestive system. We're then going to do a walking with our fingers. So we're going to walk, same hand, same left hand, starting at the 9 o'clock side of your baby. We're just going to walk our fingertips up and over and then feather back with our fingers. So we're walking up and over and feathering back. And I'm going to sing the Grand Old Duke of York. Oh, the Grand Old Duke of York, he had 10,000 men. He marched them up to the top of the hill and he marched them down again. And when they were up, they were up. And when they were down, they were down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up nor down. Done. Okay, so the next stroke I'm going to do is a little bit more of a tricky one. It's got 3 parts to it. So I'm going to describe it with my baby laying down and then I'll hold my baby up so you might be able to see better. So it's called I Love You, and it's going to start with a capital I, a capital L, and an upside down capital letter U. So the I, with your right hand on baby's 3 o'clock side, is just under the rib cage. We're going to do a straight line, like a capital I, a straight line from under the rib cage to the top of baby's thigh. So it's just a straight line around that sort of 3 o'clock position on your clock, if you're imagining that baby's belly button is the middle of the clock. When you're happy with that I, we're going to do an upside down capital letter L. So we're going to go across the top of the belly button and then retrace the I that you just made. So across the top of the belly button in a straight line and then retrace the I that you just made. So it's the right way up as a capital letter L for baby, but an upside down capital letter L for you. Okay, so that's the I and the L. And all of this continues to stimulate baby's digestive system. We are massaging the colons, we're getting everything moving. And then your upside down capital letter U is a bit like that rainbow we did before, from 9 o'clock over the top of the belly button to 3 o'clock. So it's an upside down capital letter U, or the correct way up for baby. So that rainbow from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. So again, if I'm showing you here with your right hand, the I was the straight line down here on your 3 o'clock side. The L is a straight line across the top and then retracing the I. And then an upside down letter U, like a rainbow over the top of the belly button. And when you're ready and you're feeling confident with that, and don't worry if you haven't got it straight away, you can always come back and watch it. And it's a tricky one because there's 3 parts to it. We'll combine those. So we can say to baby, I love you. We can do it again. I love you. And one more time. I love you. Fantastic. So we're going to carry on with those tummy strokes, and the next one we're going to do is called paddling. So we're just going to gently flow our hands down baby's abdomen, hand over hand, very gently, checking in with baby the whole time to see how they're getting on. And again, we're compressing the abdomen. And we're also going to lift baby's legs if they'll let you. If they're very excited, they might be kicking around, but if they'll let you hold their feet in one hand, you can carry on that paddling with the other. Now, obviously, some of you may be there with a toddler, with an older child, a baby who's crawling, on the move. You can follow your baby's lead. So if they prefer to be sat up, if they prefer to be supported to stand while they have their massage, you follow their lead. Then let their legs come down to a natural resting position. So we're going to go onto the legs now. Let's see how we get on. So if they are really kicking about excited, you'll have to do one massage stroke on each leg individually, or there might be some that they let you do both at the same time. You follow your baby's lead and see how they get on. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to put our hands in a C shape, and we're going to start with our hands at the top of baby's thighs. And we're just going to gently glide them down behind the knee, all the way down to the ankles, one hand back to the top, then the other. So very gentle, we're letting baby know that we've moved on to their legs, getting them used to that feeling of our hands on their legs, and just following the shape of their body, of their legs. Now, if your baby is very little and massage is suitable from birth, they might not tolerate very much of it. They might need to stay awake for 5 minutes, but it's absolutely suitable from birth. They might still be in that fetus position with bent knees and bent elbows. So you just gently follow the shape of their legs. And then we're going to take one leg and just with both hands in a C shape, very gently, go hand over hand down that leg. And this is where we might encourage them to have a little stretch out of their leg, just gently stretching out, especially if they have been all curled up and have bent knees, but we're not forcing anything at all. And you've got to be very mindful of the knee, because the knee is obviously a joint. We have to be very careful around. We don't want to twist anything or cause any harm. So just very, very gently and checking in with baby all the time. And then we're going to do exactly the same on the other leg. So moving over to the other leg and just that hand over hand, gently moulding the leg. So all of these strokes are encouraging circulation, muscle toning. Really great, especially when baby will, at some point, if they're not already, be crawling, then walking. We're really helping natural development so that they can reach all of those milestones. The next one, if they'll let you do both at the same time, you may have to do one at a time, is we're just going to do gentle squeezes. So with our thumb and forefinger, we're just going to gently squeeze down the leg, missing out the knee completely and carrying on down to the ankles. So one hand to the top, then the other, just gentle squeezes. Now, it's a shame I can't see anyone who's joining in today, because normally this gets a bit of a giggle from babies, and it'd be lovely to hear all those lovely giggles, but I imagine they're happening for everyone who's watching. Check in with them, make sure they're okay. Obviously, you're not squeezing too hard, you're not causing any harm. Just a very gentle squeeze to stimulate blood flow, stimulate the muscles, stimulate the nerves. Then we're going to do a stroke called, well, we'll call it the jelly wibble wobble. So you're going to put your hands either side of baby's leg and very gently, you're going to work your way down to the ankle and give them a little wibble wobble. And we'll sing jelly on a plate. Jelly on a plate. Jelly on a plate. Wibble wobble, jelly on a plate. And we're going to do the same with the other leg. So starting nearer the top of the thigh, very gently, rolling that leg between your hands. Jelly on a plate. Jelly on a plate. Wibble wobble, jelly on a plate. Fantastic. And the last one I want to show you on the legs, and this isn't all of the leg strokes, but the last one I want to show you today is called footballer's knees. And again, they may need you to do one knee at a time, or if they'll let you, maybe you can do both. So just gentle circles with your thumbs around the kneecaps and not applying any pressure, just gentle gliding. And it's really fascinating because your baby's knees will not fully develop till they're around 6 years old. That's where it turns from soft cartilage to bone. So this is a great way to stimulate blood flow in that area and to help with the natural development of the knees. Okay, fantastic. Again, check in with baby. Well done. We're going to have a look at your feet now. Now, obviously, my baby's wearing their onesie, their clothes, their baby grow, and so I can't get to their feet. You may well have baby's feet out, which would be much easier for you. So I'm just going to talk about a couple of strokes that we can do. These are also particularly good for your older children and toddlers. It's one of the ones that, you know, if you're sat watching telly on the sofa together, you can do their hands and feet. I've got 2 boys, very grown up now, but they really loved when they had outgrown a full baby massage routine. They loved their backs, their hands and their feet being massaged when they got to their sort of toddler years and when they're a little bit older. So this is definitely something you can do. So if you want to hold your baby's feet and just put your thumbs, or you might need to do one at a time, put your thumb on the ball of their foot and then just let your thumb drop down into the natural dip that's just below the ball of the foot. And you're wrapping your hands around their feet and just going to gently apply a little bit of pressure. You're not pressing too hard, checking with baby all the time, but just a little press of the bottom of the foot. And if you're into your reflexology, if you've ever been to a baby reflexology class, you'll know that the bottom of the foot is connected to all the various different parts of the body. And this is the digestive system that we're stimulating here, again, just by touching the bottom of the feet. And it encourages the release of those happy hormones like oxytocin. So we're doing that. And then we're just going to do spirals on the bottom of the feet. So literally my thumbs are just spiraling the bottoms of the feet. So we're touching the ball of the foot, the heel of the foot, the entire bottom of the foot, and just little spirals. And this is supposed to induce relaxation. We're stimulating all the different parts of the body. And then always popular with babies through to toddlers and beyond, we're going to do toes. So we're going to sing This Little Piggy, but what we're going to do is taking your thumb and forefinger at the base of the big toe, so at the bottom of the big toe, and you're going to gently wiggle and tug. So it's not a twist and a yank at all, it's very gentle, doing a little wiggle and a tug at the top, and we're going to sing This Little Piggy. You ready? Starting with the big toe. This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed at home. This little piggy had a massage. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy went wee, wee, wee all the way home. And we're going to do the same on the other foot. So starting with the big toe, we're going to do a little wiggle and a tug. This little piggy went to market. This little piggy stayed at home. This little piggy had a massage. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy went wee, wee, wee all the way home. So you'll know that's a great one to do with your children as they get older. They will thoroughly enjoy having their toes given a little massage. But in reflexology, in baby reflexology, those toes are connected to the sinus and teeth and mouth area. So by doing that little wiggle and tug, you are stimulating this area, and it can really help soothe teething pains, sinus discomfort. So if they are full of snuffle at the moment, then massaging the toes will help with that, which I think is amazing. I'm going to show you one more stroke just involving the feet that's particularly good for colic and constipation, because I know that that's something a lot of you contacted us about, that's something that your baby suffers with. So again, wrapping your hands around the feet, just gently pushing baby's knees into their chest, very gently. And this again is a really good way of supporting trapped wind, symptoms of constipation, to help their way out of the body. And it's not, you're not forcing anything, you're checking in with baby at all times. They may be able to bend their legs a little bit. Some babies may be able to bend them a little bit further, but it's a great one for gently letting out trapped wind from the digestive system. Fantastic. I'm going to show you some arms and hands now. So again, checking in with baby, you're doing so well. Starting with shoulders, so just putting your hands in sort of cup shape over baby's shoulders, checking in, lots of eye contact, warming their shoulders in your hands so they get used to the feeling of that part of their body being touched. And then with those C-shaped hands again, we're just going to glide our hands down the arms, just gliding them down, letting them know that we're starting their arm massage. And again, if you can get them to bring their arms down by the side of their body, palms facing inwards, that helps to give them a nice little stretch, especially if they have got those closed elbows. And just like we did on the legs, we'll take one arm at a time. With those C-shaped hands, we'll just follow the shape of the arm, just gently gliding down the arms. Now, some babies, they don't like their legs being massaged, they might not like their arms being massaged, so you can just do the bits that you know that they do like, that they respond well to. Some babies really don't like their arms being massaged, so as an alternative, rather than going hand over hand down the arm, you might support the arm and just gently stroke down one side and see if that's something that they prefer, but just follow their lead. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other arm, so just gently swapping over hand if you can, or just gently stroking down the side of the arm if that's their preference. Being mindful of those elbows all the time. And then just like we did on the legs as well, we're going to do those gentle squeezes. So with our forefinger and thumb, wrapping around the arm, just gently squeezing all the way down to the wrist, one hand back to the top, then the other. Missing out the elbow, no need to squeeze the elbow joint. And just stimulating again, blood flow, getting the circulatory system going, muscle toning, strengthening ligaments, stimulating the nerves and the nervous system. All of that is happening while you're doing these gentle movements with your baby. Talk to them as much as you like, sing to them. You are doing incredible things for your baby's early development and your bond together. We're going to do some little arm stretches, see how they get on. So if your baby's happy, you can just put their arms out to the side, and we're just going to gently take one hand over to the opposite side. See how they get on with this. If they are not rolling over yet, this gives them an idea of what rolling might feel like. It starts to help to build up those head and neck muscles at the back of their head. This is all the necessary strength that they'll need to lift their head, to then be able to roll over. So this is an excellent way to give them an idea of what that movement would feel like and what they need to be able to do it. Okay, and then we're also going to do crossing over of the arms, and open and a shut them. So when we bring the arms across the chest, try to swap the hand that goes on top each time. But again, it's another one of those movements where we're crossing the midline of the body. So is that great for early brain organisation? So we're going to open and close the arms. And we're going to open and close the arms. And I'm going to sing a little song or a little poem that goes with this, so we can say open, shut them, open, shut them, don't get in a muddle, open, shut them, open, shut them, give yourself a cuddle. Fantastic. So the last strokes I'm going to show you are on the hands. And very similar to the feet in baby reflexology, the hands and the palms and the fingers are connected to different parts of the body. So we're going to start, and again, you may need to do one hand at a time if baby's very excited and waving their hands around, or if they'll let you do both at the same time, that's fantastic. You can just gently roll your thumb around their palm, spiral around the palm, and we're going to sing Round and Round the Garden. Round and round the garden, like a teddy bear. One step, two step, a tickly under there. And you can do exactly the same on the backs of the hands. So again, it might need to be one at a time or both, but on the backs of the hands, just gently going in circles. Round and round the garden, like a teddy bear. One step, a two step, a tickly under there. Fantastic. And then just like we did on the toes, the last stroke that I'm going to do with you is on the fingers. And exactly the same again, this is another stroke you can do to support with any sinus discomfort, teething pains, and then it's a popular one with your older children as well and your toddlers. So we're going to start with our thumb and forefinger at the base of the thumb. And we're just going to do that very gentle wiggle and tug, not a twist and yank. Gentle wiggle and tug. And I'm going to sing Tommy Thumb. So it's a bit of a long song, so I'll sing along if you know it. Tommy Thumb, where are you? Here I am, how do you do? Peter Pointer, where are you? Here I am, how do you do? Toby Tall, where are you? Here I am, how do you do? Ruby Ring, where are you? Here I am, how do you do? Baby Small, where are you? Here I am, how do you do? And the last stroke, we're going to finish that song, it's my favourite stroke of all, is we're going to run our palm up their palm. So if they've got their fingers clenched, then this will encourage them to open up their hands. So you're going to run your hand, try and make as much eye contact as you can. I'm going to finish the song with fingers all, where are you? Here we are, how do you do? So I won't subject you to doing the other hand and singing along, but you could obviously all repeat on the other side. And that brings us to the end of all of our massage strokes today. So what we would do is we would finish with our resting hands on baby's chest. We'd say, well done for doing your massage today, well done. And we would just finish with that full frontal stretch again. So all the way down to the toes, one hand back to the top, then the other, finishing all the way down. So it's a really good indication to baby that their massage has come to an end. And it may well be that your baby's fallen asleep now, so you don't need to do this stroke. We need them to be awake at all times for massage, because then they're consenting to it. Once they fall asleep, they're no longer giving consent. So you just wait until they're awake again to carry on with your massage another time of the day. And then you can obviously scoop baby up, give them a lovely cuddle and say, well done, you've had a lovely massage today. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I hope that was enjoyable for those of you who did join in with me today. I'm going to come up closer again here. I've got a little bit to tell you about incorporating massage with your toddlers, and then we will do our Q&A session. I know a lot of you have had toddlers at home today as maybe alongside a baby, or you just have toddlers. And that the great news is that the benefits of massage and regulating touch don't stop at 9 months, 12 months. Far from it. You can carry on and on. What changes with toddlers is that they have more autonomy. That's a great thing. We involve them in choosing when and where and whether they want to join in. We know that for toddlers who are going through big emotions, that sensory regulating touch can be genuinely transformative. So trying to incorporate some massage with your toddler can be really important. So one thing that you can do is long, slow back strokes. So running your palms slowly from the base of the neck to the base of the spine. You wouldn't touch the spine, so it'd be either side of the spine that you would do that on your toddler. So again, if they're sat up in front of you, maybe they're looking out the window, maybe you're watching a film on the telly, something like that, and you might just run your hands down from their shoulders, either side of their spine to their lower back. And that's something that can be really soothing for a toddler. So we've also got hand and foot massage, as I demonstrated, and those can be used at all times with your little ones. And if you incorporate it into your daily routine or a couple of times a week, you'll find that your toddlers will often start asking for it. I know that my sons always wanted a back tickle and a back massage, especially when they were a bit older and they came in from nursery. So you can also massage the face and scalp. And I think we'll do another webinar where I come back and show you those face and scalp massage strokes, because they're particularly good for where you can see teeth coming through if baby is teething, and also for that sinus discomfort, which we know obviously so many children will suffer with when they're a bit full of cold and snuffles. So we will definitely come back and have a look at those. And when in terms of toddlers, always make it playful. A familiar rhyme, like we demonstrated in some of those massage strokes. If you have traditional rhymes in your home language, for example, incorporate them. Their favourite songs from their favourite stories or shows, anything at all to make it more fun and more meaningful for your child. You can incorporate it into your massage routines. And then there is no wrong way to connect with your child. So just a note, as we demonstrated with gaining permission from our baby at the start of doing our massage, it's the same with toddlers. We always ask permission, even if they don't have their words yet. We're looking for their cues. If they're running away, if they're pulling away, that's them saying, not at the moment, I'm not in the mood. So you must always ask consent and make sure that they are happy and content while they are having their massage. So if you have got a question specifically about working with a toddler or a baby, we'd love to pick those up in the Q&A. So if you want to send those questions now, and I think Claire will pop up on our screen in a moment and she will ask me some of the questions that you are sending. Thank you so much. I hope that this was useful, and I'd love to hear your questions.
Yep. Thanks so much, Jess. We have some great questions. So the first question, one, the time gap between feeding and massage, if you could touch again on how long you should wait, that would be helpful.
Absolutely. So particularly of the tummy area, if baby has only just been fed, I would avoid the tummy area. Especially if you've got a baby that suffers with reflux, because you are likely to see that feed come up again when you're stimulating the digestive system. But if it's been more than 30 to 40 minutes since their last feed, then you can be a little bit firmer with your touch on that digestive system to get everything flowing and moving. And it's a tricky window to find, but you don't want baby to be too hungry or too full for massage. So you have to find that perfect window in between. If your baby does suffer with reflux, something that you can do is just use a household cushion to prop baby up on a slight angle. And maybe that's their preference anyway. So you can adapt or have them sat up and supported to sit, so to keep them upright as well. I hope that answers your question.
Thanks, Jess. That was great. And another question, till what age is massage recommended?
So no limit Baby massage is suitable from birth, but like I mentioned earlier, your baby may not tolerate very much. You know, if they are newborn, a few days old, they may do a couple of minutes or 5 minutes of massage and then they'll be asleep again. And that's perfectly normal. As they obviously get a bit older, especially if they're used to massage, they may tolerate 20, 30, up to sort of 45 minutes of massage. But there is no age limit, you know, essentially in our infant massage classes within Babyzone Hubs, we normally say pre-crawling simply because once they're crawling and on the move, it's quite tricky if they go and visit other babies in the circle and everyone's trying to keep tabs on their babies. And obviously, if they're up walking, it's very tricky. But at home, you follow their lead. So you may have a very able walking toddler, running toddler who snuggles up with you on the sofa or just before bed and says, "Can you do my hands? Can you do my back?" And you just pick the bits that they like, and soon they'll be telling you which parts of massage they most enjoy.
Great. Thanks, Jess. Another one for you. Do you have any tips on how to help baby get rid of hiccups?
Oh, I've never been asked that before, and nothing comes to mind in terms of hiccups. I think because my understanding, I mean, I don't, do babies get hiccups? They probably do. I just can't, I can't think of if there's anything specific. It's an involuntary process that's obviously happening, but it passes within a few minutes. But I don't think there are any specific strokes that would aid or quicken up that process to alleviate hiccups. I think you've just got to
Yeah.
write that out.
Okay, thank you. Another question. What oils are safe to massage?
This is a really good question. So if you've been to an infant massage class or you're a trained infant massage instructor, you'll know that we would recommend cold pressed, organic, vegetable based oil. So a very natural oil such as sunflower oil, grapeseed oil, almond oil, but I'll come back to that because I think people will be going, oh, nut allergies, and you're quite right. Calendula oil, so anything that is natural, organic, and vegetable based. The reason that we say that is because it's obviously a natural oil. If it's organic and cold pressed, it's going to be of the highest standard. But most importantly, if a parent has it on their fingers or baby has it around their mouth and baby sucks on parents' fingers or their own fingers, or when you're massaging around the mouth, if it's edible, it's not going to do them any harm at all. So if you would cook with it, it's perfectly safe to put onto your baby's skin. But the highest grade is cold compressed organic oil, which is the highest standard of oil that you could use. And they have many benefits to using those particular oils. What we would discourage families from using is a man-made petroleum-based oil. You often get them, you see them in supermarkets, big brands sell baby massage oil, massage oil. It's not natural. You wouldn't want your fingers, your baby sucking it off your fingers or off their own fingers. You wouldn't cook with it. So we would very much discourage you from using that, even though it's marketed as a massage oil. Coming back very quickly to allergies, particularly something like almond oil. Fractionated coconut oil is another popular choice as well. But always carry out a patch test before you use it on your baby, the oil that you're going to use. And the recommended area for your patch test is on the inside of the wrist because it's a very sensitive area. You just rub a small amount there on baby, leave it for a few minutes, and then you would check. And you're looking for any spotting, redness, any sort of rashing, any discomfort from baby, itching, scratching, and so on, that would be an allergic reaction. And then obviously you would not use that particular oil, but always carry out that patch test. I've been teaching infant massage for 11 years now, and I've used a variety of those natural oils in my classes, and I've never seen an allergic reaction. But obviously, there will be someone out there somewhere who is allergic to coconut oil or sunflower oil. If you know that there are no allergies in your household, you could use something like almond oil, but you wouldn't want to take it to an infant massage class because you wouldn't know if anyone else in the group did have an allergy. So avoid nut oils if you're leaving the home to do your massage.
Thanks, Jess. Another one. Can infant massage be done on a raised changing table or bed?
It can. I've had families come to my massage classes who are wheelchair bound and they've had to have baby on a table, on a wedge. Obviously, you've got to be mindful that they're at a high level and you must stay and be with them at all times. The risk is obviously that they may fall, just as there is a risk when you're changing a baby on a heightened changing mat. So, as long as you are there at all times, taking full responsibility for your child and ensuring their safety, absolutely.
Thank you. Um, Another question. Do you run any face-to-face practical sessions?
We do in some of our Babyzone hubs. So if you attend a Babyzone hub, they are quite likely to run infant massage classes. But me personally, only occasionally in some of the hubs that I go to in the London-based Babyzone hubs. But I wish I could do more and more of it. And if everyone wants me to do more of these, I'm happy maybe over the summer holidays or other holidays, I'm happy to do some guided massage sessions. So you let the Babyzone team know if that would be a popular request.
Yes. Okay, and last one. My twins have reflux. Any other tips with massage to address the reflux?
So I definitely suggest that household cushion or wedge if you have one, just to raise them up slightly at an angle so that you can massage there, and that will help to keep the feed down. Reflux is actually not particularly well understood. It's quite similar to colic, where it's not fully understood through medical study. It's believed to be the symptom of an underdeveloped digestive system. And we know through the research that regular massage, even if it's only 5 minutes a day or every other day, regular massage helps to bring about the and quicken up the natural development of the digestive system. So the best advice would be to do little and often and build up your baby's tolerance to that massage. And then hopefully through that, they're developing their digestive system a little bit quicker and those symptoms will ease and then the reflux will go.
Sorry, Jess, we've had one more.
It's fine.
Um, I'm a foster carer and wondering if you have any advice or caution around massage for babies and toddlers who may have experienced trauma.
So this is a really good question. Um, Obviously just check in with the baby, your baby at all times. You are building that bond and connection, and this is positive touch. So this is a really positive thing to do with a child who may have been through trauma, and that checking in with baby at all times is completely necessary, and making sure that they are consenting and happy. Little and often again to build up a tolerance and a familiarity, and having a consistent caregiver if you're developing that bond, say with a foster parent and their baby. So having that time together, it's the same person each time doing maybe very similar strokes to build up that sense of safety and security. And then if perhaps that baby transitions into an adoptive family home, maybe it's something that you can do all together and make that transition so that new familiar adult is doing something that baby is very familiar with. And then it's reminded me as well of something else to add, not specifically around babies who suffered trauma, but medical conditions. Obviously, there will be a number of babies who've got various medical conditions. They may have hip dysplasia and they may be wearing hip braces. They may be premature born and they have an oxygen tank. They may have an umbilical hernia. There are, countless number of various medical conditions that babies may be suffering with. 99% of the time, gentle massage is a really positive thing to do with any baby, despite any medical condition that they have. But if you are concerned and you're not sure about what your baby is allowed and isn't allowed, always consult your medical professional. So go back to your consultants and say, I'd like to do some massage. This is what it involves. Can you just give me some guidance on what I can and cannot do? And they may give you advice on how firm the massage stroke should be, particular areas to avoid, areas to address. So for example, in a umbilical hernia, it's really good and positive to gently massage around the hernia. It actually reduces the size of the hernia significantly, research has shown.
Thanks so much, Jess. We can go ahead and close out from here and share our poll.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, so I've really enjoyed spending the last hour with you. I'm impressed with my timekeeping there, pretty much on the dot. I want to say a huge heartfelt thank you for joining us if you joined us today. Whatever brought you here, whether it's a colicky baby, a sleepless night, a curious mind, or just a little bit of time carved out for something good to do today with your child, I hope you've taken something useful away with you. Touch is one of the most ancient and powerful ways we have of saying, I see you, I'm here, and you are safe. So, what we've done today, it has enormous positive impact for you and your child. Take care of yourselves and your babies, and we'll see you again very soon. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.